So Paradox just announced what we can expect in 2024 for Crusader Kings 3 with Chapter 3. With 4 DLCs, 1 major expansion, 1 core expansion, an event pack, and a clothes pack. And as you can probably see, this year's Flavour pack has been replaced with the core expansion, which honestly, I'm so happy about. I have really enjoyed the Flavour packs so far, but they mentioned core expansions will affect a large part of the world compared to the smaller area of a Flavour pack. And the first core expansion we're getting is Legends of the Dead, adding 3 new big mechanics. My favourite, plagues are back. Probably my most wanted feature, as this game definitely needs a bit more challenge and things to kill the player. Plagues will either spawn by random chance or by the presence of armies, which adds a whole new terrifying layer to the Mongol invasion. There will be many different types of diseases that spread: consumption, targeting elders, measles, taking out children, and a disease I'm actually excited to be infected by, the dancing plague, which in real life literally cause people to dance to their death. And that may sound like fun, but later in the game, I'm assuming in the 1300s, there's the Black Death, which killed roughly 25 million people. So anybody with a PC that struggles with performance during the late game will love this one, as it quickly plummets the population. But here in the screenshots, you can see the Black Death starting with a new icon in the bottom right, similar to how the struggles show up. And in one of the screenshots, we can see Italian flux, prompting the player to prepare, hopefully adding some new decisions like locking down your lands and other various ways to deal with the impending plagues. But look, as long as I can use my courtiers as biological weapons to take out other dynasties, I'm sold. Second part of Legends of the Dead is, well, the legends. Similar to plagues, they spread across the map, but this one is a little bit more friendly. You and of course others will now have the ability to spread your own saga. And here you can see an example of a ruler's chronicle telling of this story, which updates as it spreads, as well as a new legends tab showing other legends from around the world, and the effects seem to be positive modifiers at the cost of a gold upkeep for continuing to spread it to other counties. There's also a new court position, the Court Chronicler. The dev diary mentions that through events, you will be able to edit the saga to say change what you slew to a dragon rather than a bear. So I assume the Chronicler will be useful for that. And finally, from what I have, is a new building decision. Clear grounds for a legendary building, adding a new special building slot. Maybe if your ruler gets like famous enough, you can get some truly powerful bonuses. And the last of what we know for Legends of the Dead is legitimacy, a measurement of your right to rule, which will affect factions, vassalization, and title creation, giving you an easier time while ruling your kingdom, but also tempting you to lower your legitimacy with new abilities like revoking titles. And this seems to be like a nicer version of Dread in the way it affects factions, but with a lot more options. And of course, there's also the major expansion, Roads to Power. Hear me out. Byzantine DLC. Yes, it's coming. They say this expansion is dripping with Byzantine flavor, from imperial fashion to new buildings, beautiful mosaics, and much more, allowing you to claw your way up the political ladder of the Byzantine bureaucracy with the imperial administration. So I'm assuming we are getting a new government type unique to the Byzantines, where noble families within the empire will lobby for governorships. And it mentions influence, which will be used to improve your standing, improve your estates, and convince other families that you should rule as emperor. So at last, the Byzantine Empire will feel truly unique, to not just play as, but also to play within. And the second part of the DLC is Adventurers, allowing you to travel the map in search of fame and fortune, set out across the world as a historical adventurer, one of your own making, or keep playing as your character in the event you are deposed. Which, to be honest, is probably the only reason I'll use this. Starting Unlanded doesn't seem very interesting to me, but being deposed, traveling, taking on contracts, gathering friends, wealth, and fame, and even doing mercenary work and eventually settling new lands seems like it could actually be a lot of fun. Now, there's not too much info said on it just yet though, so it's hard to say too much, but I really hope it's a big challenge to settle new lands. In my head, mercenary work seems to suggest that you may be able to build your own wandering army, or it could mean that you can just fight in other mercenary companies. I'm not too sure. But with this saying about settling new lands, I guess you could either do that through intrigue, or if you can actually build up your own army, maybe conquest. So unlanded gameplay is never something I've really cared too much about, to be honest, but maybe it does sound pretty fun. Now, the event pack, Wandering Nobles, is centered all around the travel mechanic, adding more reasons to travel and things that can happen on the road, and even new sights to see. Event packs I've found okay so far, but to be honest, if there was ever going to be more, I think this theme is probably the best one. And finally, the instant unlock is a clothes pack centered around the French. So let me know in the comments your thoughts on what we're getting in 2024. And if you like these sorts of videos, leave a like and consider subscribing. But thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you found this useful, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.